today on the Whiskey Our YouTube channel, I'm going to admit that I don't know what I'm talking about. Not the first time, just the first time on this channel. And I'm going to step back and have my have-to-be friend, because he employs me, boss, Jeff Bond, Education Director at a facility that is yet to be named, because they don't want to associate with me. Just talk about the 70s lizard.
Yeah, it's this little guy here. This is Discosauriscus. Say that many times fast because it's so fun to say. Discosauriscus.
Discosauriscus, 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 Discosauriscus.
Yeah, now you're saying it wrong again.
Having a stroke.
Yeah. Discosauriscus is a little salamander-like critter from Western Europe, the Czech Republic specifically, and it lived during the early Permian period. So we're talking, 270 million years ago, something like that. I need to look up the exact date. Numbers are not my thing.
The Permian was right before the Triassic, or the first era that dinosaurs really started to stake their turf on the planet. Though it wasn't really until the Jurassic that they got big.
Yeah, so
I'll give this back to you.
here we've got a really small guy. And even though it had a lot of habits and life, even like life cycle, very similar to salamander, it's more closely related to reptiles and even more closely related to mammals, I think. This guy's part of a larger group called the Stegocephalia, which is all tetrapods, so land-going animals with a backbone, that had toes instead of fins.
It's a very small group.
No, it's a very large group.
Just a handful of members.
Yeah, he's being sarcastic here. Yeah.
Wow, I've never done that on this channel before, Jeff. Actually, I'm not 100% sure if I have on the Moist Theory channel.
You never know whether. So, yeah, it's got some interesting features. First off, its name, Discosauriscus, lends it to a lot of 70s puns.
You guys gonna do the dance?
Sure, why not? I don't know. Now
Insert,
I feel like a fool. I feel like a total fool. I'm done with this. Knock it off.
Oh!
Come on, Jeff.
You gotta do it.
Come on, okay.
Oh, gross.
Give it back,
No,
give it back.
okay. Now I'm clashing with my shirt.
I gave him the heebie-jeebies.
Oh.
Talking about Discosauriscus, please stop.
Okay, so...
What? You're the one who said stop, so fine. Talk about the disco lizard.
So the disco lizard, it had a medial line a lot like fish do. So it could detect weak electric fields. Scientists think that this might have been an evolutionary response that would allow it to detect the presence of John Travolta.
Despite that joke, it really did have that electro sense.
Yeah, I wasn't lying about the electrical sense. I just
The John Travolta thing, probably. I don't know. How old is John Travolta?
I don't know anymore. I guess it depends on whether you believe Scientology and the whole reincarnation thing with that, like, evil overlord. Or
I don't even think reincarnation. I'm pretty sure John Travolta is just 200 or 300 million years old.
he looked okay in the 70s.
Well, in the 70s, yeah.
At least according to, like, my child eyes. I just dated myself. Great. So, anyway.
Now, where's the 70s in relation to the Permian?
What about 300 million years after the Permian ended?
So, like, right next door, because that's how relativity works, right? Sure, right? Let's see, what are some other interesting things about this? We haven't found any adults, which I suppose is very appropriate for the 70s as well. But ching!
I haven't heard that one.
Yeah, I just made it up.
Most of these jokes I've heard before, but that one, I hadn't heard that one.
Seriously, though, we only have larval, juvenile, and metamorphic stages, no adult stages. So there's a lot to learn about that guy. It would have lived at a time when all the continents were squished together into the supercontinent Pangaea, and so it could have been a lot more wide-ranging than just Western Europe. But we haven't found it outside of Western Europe. We have found some similar related animals as far away as the Intermountain West. An animal called C. moria is considered being quite closely related to this guy. So.
And it's kind of weird. It's actually got its own sort of like group, Discosauriscidae.
Yeah.
Correct. It doesn't nest in any of the existing clades, like or any of the other even amphibian clades, like the temnospondyls, which were very big during the end of the Permian. Guys like Eriopsis was at least considered to be a temnospondyl for some time. Diplocaulus was a temnospondyl. Diplocaulus, yeah. No, what's another temnospondyl?
Oh,
Mr. Bond.
Metoposaurus, I think?
Metaposaurus, yeah.
I might be wrong there.
Temnospondyls are generally pretty big amphibians, and even the ones that aren't fairly big, they seem to be fairly robust, at least compared to some of the amphibians that we have today, like salamanders and newts.
I'm a dinosaur guy, not an amphibian guy.
I'm a crocodile guy, not an amphibian guy,
I
so
know,
we're kind of
but-
not the right duo to be talking about this.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that kind of makes us amphibians, right? We're like fish out of water.
We are fish out.
I am on one today! This is awesome!
Please stop filming. Like, comment, and subscribe.